Our next question, Jim, was sent via the Cult of Cornette Facebook group by Ed Whipkey. In the Brian Pillman book, Brian thought that The Undertaker was a wannabe tough guy and had no respect for him. What are Jim's thoughts on this?
Do you remember him saying exactly that? I read the Pillman book. It's been a while.
It's been a while, too, so I don't want to say it wasn't in there, but...
I don't know whether he thought I want to be tough guy, because that Taker, whether anybody's happy with him now because he's henpecked on his podcast, Taker's a tough guy. But so was Brian Pillman. And I can see that maybe Brian thought, and maybe with validity, because a lot of guys, when they first saw Brian, they didn't think much because he was short and he wasn't, that not only that big, even though he had a great build to him, but also the hair, the fluffy hair and the whole thing when he was younger and he was flying Brian. Then they had to realize just who he was and what they were dealing with. And once they did that, then he got a certain amount of respect. But I don't know if I would. Brian's relationships with most of the guys in the WWF at that point probably wouldn't have been the best that they could have been if he was coming in as the old Brian who hadn't been injured, wasn't trying to hide shit, wasn't paranoid about stuff, wasn't having personal issues. Because I think that, his talent would have spoken louder than all the craziness going on around him.
But you don't remember any specific issues. And again, they worked together in WCW in 1990, but nothing.
Well, and that might have been part of it, because I remember when Brian first came in, he had this fucking hair dryer with do you remember in the 90s, the big diffuser where it would diffuse the hair over a wide area for the people with the fluffy hairdos?
Yes, I do.
He had one of those. And the other guys just fixated on that. And Brian came in one night after a fucking match and somebody had broke it, stomped on it or whatever. And he didn't put it over. But this was before that they all really knew his story and how he'd walked on with the Bengals and was fucking badass and probably could kick many of their asses. Or there may have just been lingering personal shit from 7 years before.
What are your thoughts on the idea that so many people, again, right or wrong, for whatever reason, it seems like a lot of people, we're seeing the feedback, are like out for The Undertaker?
Well, it's because...
Do you think they should call Leslie Nielsen to come in?
No. I think they need to leave that alone. All those years, The Undertaker was a cool gimmick, and you didn't hear the real guy talk. And The Undertaker was just, the mythical guy that had the great matches and came back at WrestleMania and defied the Father Time and had the streak. And before that, it was how he was the locker room leader and the voice of reason. But now that they hear Mark Calloway, he's not really a great stand-up comedian, motivational speaker. He's very Trumpy. It's the best thing I can say about that. And he's let his wife join his podcast where he looks like that fucking guy that's Kelly Ripa's husband now.
Oh, God. Oh.
So, that's not The Undertaker. They didn't want to know the person. They didn't want The Undertaker to be a person. And now he's annoying them.
All right, well, thank you for your question, Jim.
I'll be the first one to say of anybody that should keep politics out of anything, The Undertaker should not be political.
It should be a universally loved gimmick. The most loved dead man since Casper.
Yeah, because death and taxes waits for no man, like the tide, as they say.